it the running man if you just run in place? Should I pretend to be cold?
This is bringing me back to my drill team days. All I need are some pom-poms.
Oh, man.
We should like pom-poms for people. Like when they interact with dancing. That would be so cool. Okay, Google, stop the music.
Yeah, right. You know what? That actually reminds me. You missed it the other day, Alex.
Oh.
Yeah, you missed what happened. You had a glitch and you disappeared. The aliens blooped you into wherever it is they take you off to occasionally.
I don't know yet. Haven't figured it out.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I filled in with, like, just as an emergency, a Muay Thai fighter getting ready to open up a can of whoop ass. So, like, let's go ahead and do a reprise of that real quick, just as we're on topic. All right, so there he is. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we've done Open to Whoop Ass. You know what time it is. It's BowtieUP live time.
Yes.
We hope your butts are planted in your seats with the popcorn and the drinks and all the stuff that I always tell you to get before the show. You should know the drill by now. It's BowtieUP Live. I'm Lee Rowley with Lee Rowley Copy Branding and Copy Brand You. And to my left, right, wherever, is my co-host,
Alex McDowell. With A3 Innovation, owner, founder, whatever you want to call it. I'm the guy that thought of the whole thing. And partner at Real Impact Solution. But much more important is the person down here. Right below me, the one and only, let me clear this pre-show dance party so you can see her name, Elizabeth Westbrook. Welcome to BowtieUP Live. Thank you for joining us. Very excited to have you. Give us a brief 30-second overview intro, who you are, and one cool, fun, interesting fact about you.
So I am the owner of Jen Westbrook, and I help small companies catapult to the next level through really going in and figuring out what it is that the CEOs aren't necessarily focused on that are holding their business back. And the interesting fact around me, well, faith plus family is my foundation. And so that's kind of what I've been focusing on in these COVID days is time at home with the fam.
That is awesome. Double F Foundation. Love it very much, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. And very excited to have you to the show. One of my favorite parts, which you get to experience now, is when we get to stop the show to say hello to some of the tremendous people out there in the audience watching us. Thank you very much for joining us. Nishant joining in first, saying, hey, Lee, hey, Alex, best thing to do at 2 a.m. BowtieUP Live. Bro, first of all, I agree. That is the best thing to do at 2 a.m. Second of all, thank you for doing that at 2 a.m. And third of all, you're radical, bro. Where are you at that it is 2 a.m.? It is 4:26 p.m. Eastern. Drop that UTC in chat, man. Carlo Rowley, how is it going? Wonderful to see you in chat. And as always, thank you very much for loaning Lee over here. Darn it, I have my first one nailed. Lee over here. Wow. Lee over here me for an hour. Thanks for loaning him out to me for an hour, Carla. Appreciate it. Chris jumping in chat saying, bonjour. Hola, amigo. How's it going, Chris? Hope you're having a wonderful day today. And of course, Samantha, hey, how's it going? Hope you are having a wonderful day today. And now back to your regularly scheduled interruption.
I'm having a terrible internet day. This is one of these days where I can't find my own dang feed.
Oh,
terrible day on the internet?
Yeah,
it's a terrible day for the internet.
No, it's this thing, man. Really. I mean, it's okay, but not terribly reliable.
It's an HP?
It's an Asus Chromebook.
Oh, dude, I love Asus. And Chromebooks are awesome. You mean you don't like the Chrome OS?
The one thing I don't like is it drops Wi-Fi all the time.
Really?
Yeah, it just drives me nuts.
Does
it have an Ethernet cord with it? Or do you plug it in?
No,
there
is no Ethernet port.
Does it have a USB 3.0 port?
Oh, yes.
Okay, then you can run Wi-Fi. I will show you. Look behind Alex's setup here. You've got the wonderful, wonderful cord right here. This is USB 3.0 pointing, to an Ethernet cable. So we can do that for next time.
How about that? All right. Well,
that's Tech Tips Friday.
Tech Tips
Fun Fact Friday.
Wait a minute. On Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Wait, it's Thursday?
We don't even know what it is around here.
No, I told you guys I don't. Why does no one believe me?
Oh.
It's not a joke. I'm confused.
All right. All right, let's get this rolling. We're going to lose everybody. So there's this post that
people and my homeboy Nishant over here said he's at UTC plus 5:30. Greetings from
India. Nishant, you're in India.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. We're like UTC -4, so that's 9.5 hours difference or something.
Yeah, for sure, man. What the heck
rock and roll,
doing
bro.
Up in the middle of the night listening to
watching BowtieUP live.
Crazy.
It's productive.
Well, we're honored. Thank you.
So, fun fact: 70% of the users on LinkedIn are outside of the U.S.
Really?
That's a great fun fact.
Do you know any of the other platforms statistics on outside of the U.S.?
No, I'm a LinkedIn girl.
Hey, Nishant says that it's Friday there in India, so I guess technically I did get the day right. I just got the time zone wrong.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
Just wanted to throw that in. And hello, Anita, stopping the show and saying hello to her. She said, great to make it. Great to see you in here. And guys, as we talk today, a very important thing I need from all of you, drop us a question in the chat. Ask us something cool. Let's answer it. Have some fun. It's going to be absolutely radical. We are joined down here by Elizabeth. And Lee, did you have something to say? I feel like I had interrupted you beforehand.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so we covered the hellos. We covered everything there. Hello to everybody over on Facebook, YouTube. We're not streaming to Twitch today, which kind of sucks. But let's talk LinkedIn strategies. LinkedIn growth, using your LinkedIn profile, creating posts. Because, Elizabeth, how long have you been on LinkedIn?
Only about 6 months.
And then, Lee, how long have you been doing it?
Longer than that.
Really,
no, it's really just shy of a year. But about 6 months of it was pretty quiet, just testing things out and failing a lot.
I think I'm about 4 months now, really 2 if you count when I've actually been posting anything. So we are all relatively new to LinkedIn. Let's talk about some of the things that we've learned in terms of what it likes and what it doesn't like. Elizabeth, as the current honored guest, we will start from you. Give us some insight. Talk a little bit about LinkedIn, growth, strategies, visibilities, the works.
So what I'm going to say is that I started on LinkedIn after I lost a job. I came here kind of looking for, job source. That's what I thought of it as when I started my account, I don't know, probably 10 years ago. And I hadn't touched it since. And when I came back, I was shocked to find that a lot of amazing stuff was going on here. And people were just kind of pouring all this amazing, free, valuable material out in the form of education and posts, just kind of one-off pieces of information. But also they were doing a series or they were offering webinars for free. And I thought, it's time for me to give back. These people are putting so much out. So as far as strategy, I would say when I first started, it was really slow and for posting. And you need to be very consistent and patient and give it time. It's going to take you probably 3 or 4 months to develop any kind of following that makes sense. And you're going to have to be posting most every day and gaining trust. I think that's one of the core strategy pieces.
Yeah. How do you post every day? Because that's one thing that I clearly don't know if any of you follow me. And if you don't, you might as well, because I won't clog up your feed. So if you're not posting every day, what can I even do to get a thought about what to post about?
About what's what?
About what to even post about on my feed to start this process.
When I first started, I was kind of in a down state. And so I started posting all these inspirational quotes that were other people's. And I thought that was great. And then I finally kind of realized that's not unique. And it's not my voice, and it's not creating any kind of new value that didn't exist before me. And so I had to start talking about what it is that I know. and see what resonated. So that's what you do. You just start posting about what you know, your life experiences, what you've been through, what you've learned. Throw it out there, and you'll be amazed at how much people attach to what you've learned.
Absolutely. And when you're talking about what you learned, are you typically talking about, more professional topics or personal topics, or how do you see the way that you structure your content in LinkedIn, and what sort of strategy do you approach with that?
Mine is a percentage. So I probably do 60% business and 40% inspiration or mindset, success type things. But then the 60% is probably more about culture, operations, the things I've learned in business, the things that work and don't work. I like a mixture.
Absolutely. Good mixtures are good. Now, Lee, when you're talking about copywriting, can you think of how copywriting can fit into operations or employee documentation at all? Or could there be a value in maybe the words that you say and the way that you know how to craft them into the way that we're explaining documentation for employees as an operational tactic?
Absolutely. Clarity and brevity are key. I mean, that's in anything, but that's one of the fundamental skills that you learn as a good copywriter. I know there are a lot of copywriters who just are word generators, and that's fine. But real copywriting that actually gets the job done is as concise and direct and to the point as possible. And that's something that we need to remember as we're talking to these people, is that anything can confuse them. It's easy to confuse people. That's something that I struggle with when I'm verbally trying to explain something to somebody. If I write it down, they can follow what I say. If I'm trying to verbally say it, that's a different story, because then things will get mixed up and I'll start going off on tangents. But that's not that's why copy needs to be so concise when you're creating these things, and just so that you're not confusing people, so that you're getting the efficiency out of them that they want, and they get to do their job quickly and more easily and go on about the next thing.
And I'm going to jump in here real quick because, audience, all 8 of you out there on LinkedIn, listen up. Let's get some comments in here about the most valuable thing that you have learned about LinkedIn. Let's get some feedback, get some other thoughts in here, talk a little bit about LinkedIn. We'll have ourselves a great discussion about it. So you've heard a little bit from us now. Let's talk about a little bit from you. Drop your favorite strategy about LinkedIn, tips and trick.
I want to go ahead and drop a bomb.
Okay.
Elizabeth, how has COVID changed your LinkedIn posting strategy? And anybody out there who says that it hasn't changed their strategy is completely friggin' tone deaf. So it's okay. It's changed all of our strategies. I'm just interested in how it's changed yours.
Like, I'm going to say the first 4 months that I was on the platform, I was coming out of a kind of a personal nightmare, and I was starting my own company, and I was very enthusiastic, and I was very positive, and there were a lot of really good things going on in that space, and I wanted to share all that positivity. Well, if I were doing that all during the middle of COVID, it would be a little tone deaf, right? And so, you kind of have to recognize that people are all in different places. They're all going through different things, and you have to be sympathetic to the fact that not everybody's going to see or feel or react in the same way. Mm-hmm. So it's transition from kind of coaching people where to go with things in a very directed way to recognizing everybody's going to manage this a little differently. And I need to be kind of more broad with my approach to my posts, more encompassing.
So what do you mean by broad and encompassing?
More inclusive, just recognizing, not everyone is going to be able to get from point A to point J because I posted today. That's maybe something that was a little more possible before COVID, but now I think people kind of have this whole layer of extra challenge and difficulty on top that we're all trying to get through. I've started talking about how to do Zoom. I've started talking about how to do video conferencing. I've started talking about some of the things I've learned during this 6 months by taking LinkedIn offline, going to the, building the relationships, doing the networking, because a lot of people are losing their jobs. You can't post about what to do at your job all the time if so many people are going through an interview process. It's really just about kind of keeping your finger on the pulse of what's generally going on in society.
So what do you think about the difference between keeping your finger on a very general level and to keep a finger on a very specific niche, or to kind of bolt down on where your focus is to highlight one specific segment or element as a growth strategy? So, you're in the coaching business. So you coach C-level executives, owners, founders, whatever you want to call them. I mean, you could definitely use some of the opportunity within COVID to really market the way that you can help these people and really support them during these times. And if you took a much more niched approach, maybe that could be something that you could also use as a strategy to kind of approach something specific and drive revenue without it being inauthentic, because you know that you can legitimately serve a specific market.
Right. Right now is a good time for me to help businesses pivot, right? Because maybe the smaller companies that I serve don't all have that business continuity plan. They don't all have a strategy that helps them deal with this type of crisis. They may need to transition their customer service approach. These are all things that I can talk about that are new and different than things I talked about necessarily in January.
And let's touch on business continuity really quick. And those of you out in the audience listening who might not know business continuity, Elizabeth, do you want to take the definition of it in a super high level so that everybody can kind of understand how it helps, especially during COVID?
Sure. It's a plan where you're going to work through how to keep your business up, running, and functional no matter what is thrown at it.
There you go.
Yeah.
And what was one of the biggest problems with most organizations' continuity plan surrounding COVID? What would you say the biggest thing that they were not prepared for in the continuity plan that was not
in my field, walking away from in-person events, transitioning your conferences and in-person events to virtual. People were not prepared to do a 4-day conference on the computer.
That's a great point. So and you think about business continuity too. These are plans for how to keep like your customer service infrastructure running and your accounting team sending your invoices. You're not considering, company-led initiatives that are going to be at on-site events. An event of a global pandemic will go to online with this provider hosted in this way. Like there's no thought to that because nobody thought that this could happen. Right. So it's awesome that you bring that up, because business continuity has been in a lot of discussions recently, and specifically how non-encompassing it was. It was one of those things that you did to check a box, like, oh, we're never going to have to use this thing. And then, well, when you did, it didn't work because it didn't try hard enough. Got some awesome comments out here in the audience, too, I want to bring up real quick. So Kevin McDowell, first of all, saying hello to a couple of people. Kevin jumping in here. My favorite McDowell, other than family, because, get it, it's McDowell, whatever. Matthew Perkins jumping in. What's up, brother? As always, wonderful to see you. Enrique is saying, you all rock. No, bro, you rock. Much love. Thanks for jumping in. And thanks for watching us and dealing with us. We've been talking LinkedIn growth strategies, business continuity, operations, and all things that are good with making sure that you got food on the tables, money in the bank for payroll, so that you can keep everybody in bunks. Keep your business going. I totally lost it after I said it was a bunk, but back to your regularly scheduled interruption, as they say.
So back to the LinkedIn. You mentioned top voices, and this is going to be a totally new thing for a lot of people, and I know it is for me. So run us through that and explain to us why that's important.
So every year, LinkedIn recognizes top voices on the platform. And I think this is a catalyst for a lot of people. Some of them are pretty small. Some of them have a 5,000 person following. That's
really?
Not that they're really big.
5,000 is small?
Yes.
Is that when I become small on LinkedIn? Because I think I have like 700 connections.
Sorry.
Alex, have you looked at Elizabeth's follower count? You've been at this how long, Elizabeth?
6 months.
6 months. Okay, I know you're north of 11,000. And not that I know, no, we're concerned about the metrics, but a little bit, you know.
But there are people in 6 months that are at 40,000.
Yeah, everybody goes at a different rate, but that's so incredible. Are you 11,000? What's the count?
It's like 11,300 or 400 or something. I don't know the exact number. I don't check it all the time. But in the LinkedIn universe, as far as people who are making a big impact every day on a large audience, there are people with 3 million followers. There are people with 300,000. It's all relative, I guess, but it surprised me in an environment where you could have people with 3 million followers that LinkedIn was choosing to recognize people with 3,000 or 5,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
That just seemed on the scale pretty small potatoes compared to the scale that they have. But they were, and I think it's a real catalyst for those people to be able to put it on their profile, tout it. It gets them a lot of visibility for their company and their message. But I was kind of, surprised to learn the categories. They're only about 7. Did you want to go through them?
We will. But I've been doing some math in the background because it's like one of my favorite things. And Elizabeth, if you got 11,300 followers in 6 months, right? That means that you are getting 1,883 followers per month. Every 30 days, 1,862 followers a day. That's incredible, man.
And
absolutely. They're
awesome people.
That's like 3 people in 24 hours. That's like 3 people an hour. Why? Tell me why 3 people an hour are following you. That is incredible. Like,
I think they follow different. Yeah, I think they follow different people for different reasons. But as far as me, I think it's because I actually care about them. I don't look at them as numbers. I connect with people. Ask Lee. I've known Lee for about 4 months, but we have an actual connection. I consider him to be my friend. We've talked business. We have our side conversations. We've had our Zoom calls. I've taken his course. I engage. I create real relationships with people.
That is true.
Question, by the way. So creating the relationships with people, we're going to jump back to that because I want to know how you manage all the conversations that you do and how you build that relationship connection. It's cool. We have the golden sea. We might talk about it, but cool comments coming in from the audience, and shout out to y'all because you're great. Dropping in here as your friendly audience connection. Lively discussion going on, by the way, guys. Kevin, Matthew, and Nishant, y'all are killing it out there. Nishant asks, with business continuity in the discussion, what to do for new businesses which took birth or was supposed to in 2020. And this is something that I don't think we've talked about on the show before. And it's a really good discussion to have. Not sure that it's going to be a fun discussion to have, but we can talk about it, guys.
Yep. Absolutely.
You were commenting yesterday, bro. I remember. So thank you for coming back. Tell me what you're doing. I know you're a business consultant or trying to be a consultant for businesses. I didn't get what you were consulting for. Run us down with that, and maybe we can talk a little bit about what any sort of continuity would look like. Because for you, it's not continuity because there's nothing to continue. It's about building a foundation, continuing to build that foundation, because you have to have a foundation before you can have a plan in place of how to replace that foundation, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
But I'll wait for your comment for the 30-second lag, and also saying hello to Kelsey Lips for jumping in.
Yes.
As Matthew says, huzzah, Kelsey.
Hello.
What is up? How is it going?
And let's do another tech. Let's do a little tech thing for all the streamers out there, and run me through how to put me back where I'm supposed to go.
Oh, absolutely. So, y'all, if you're using StreamYard,
I'm using StreamYard,
and you are trying to fix the Lee and Alex situation,
right?
Oh no, what will we do now? When I'm grabbing over here, I'm not grabbing to the right place.
Right.
So you just do where you take them both off and then you add them back in the order that you want them to appear. So drop Alex, drop Lee, add Alex. Or excuse me, drop, add. So add Lee, add Alex after dropping them both, and whoop-de-doop.
There we go. Okay, that's going to take a little practice, but now we know how to do that. These are the little tricks that you get into when you're in live streaming that just make things fun. And Alex is way better than I am, so I really appreciate all of this help and efforts on this. Thank you as always.
I like tech, bro.
For doing this. I feel better now that I'm.
I want to jump in here real quick, though, on the question of building a company amid COVID crisis. You just birthed your company this year, and bam, what happened? You know, I went to the Video Marketing World Conference last week. It was phenomenal. If any of you have the chance to sign up for Video Marketing World next year, please do it. I highly recommend it. And no, they're not paying me. And I don't know any of the people who put it on. I just thought it was phenomenal. But their opening, their headliner was Mark Cuban. And something Mark Cuban said that just made everyone's jaw drop was, the news people and businesses don't have a place to go for news now. They can't meet in person. They can't get together. They can't run to something and take pictures because they can't get close enough. And they're looking places for news and things to talk about. So guess where they're going? They're going to Instagram. They're going to LinkedIn. They're going to YouTube. And they're approaching people in a new way for media content. Pardon me?
What about Snapchat? Because Snapchat, like with the map function where you can see where like groups of people are posting stories, it's literally like the most obvious place to look for news that I can think of.
I didn't hear them mention that. That doesn't mean that's not a place that's being sourced.
Catch up with millennials, y'all.
Yeah. But I loved the idea that right now we have all a unique opportunity to get our business and our information in front of people in a brand new way. And that news outlets are searching for things to talk about. So if you can put out a good product in a video format or in a format like this, where you can get an audience of people to gravitate to it, then you have a way to start getting visibility for your brand new company that needs to grow. And the more you can figure out how to pivot into an approach where you don't have to be in person, I think that's something we're going to have to consider for a long time to come. I don't think this is going to go away in 2 months.
No, absolutely.
I think you're going to have to figure out how to deliver and how to help people feel comfort with your delivery for quite some time from your home, really.
Right. Or just like in general, we're going to have to go relatively touchless. We can have a meeting and we can just have it via video, but a meeting in a cafe of the future is going to be a meeting across the cafe where you can look at each other, but still live stream and talk to each other over video. And I think that the biggest thing and the only reason why there haven't been actual riots is because we have stuff like this. There's the easy, or I guess I should say relatively easy and widespread access of being able to instantly stream your video.
Right.
Instantly, like literally connect to where that person is, because voice is not the same. We couldn't do this over voice.
Right. So email is actually one of the most well-received approaches on sales. But what happens when you embed a video with your face in an email? What happens when you start?
Open rate goes up.
Yeah. What happens when you and your partner start doing something in tandem, talking about your product? What happens when you start creating that personal connection and trust because you're looking people right in the eye through this type of media on your emails?
Mm-hmm.
You need to start thinking about ways to create that personal connection when you can't be right in front of people.
Right. And I think that this is what we're learning to do, and where we see the just kind of like on the tech side of the world, the AR filters are kind of the future in a way of comfortability on video. Because I've noticed that one of the things, like when you're talking about, for real, Lee, good banner. When you're talking about live streaming, distributing live video content. There's a widespread fear of getting on video, getting on camera. We don't like how we look. We don't like how we do this, how we do that. And it's all, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Nobody's paying attention. But with filters, with augmented reality, with being able to look different, I can use, like, when I'm literally on the Facebook Messenger phone call with my sisters, I use the foot filter at all times. I'm just like a big foot talking to them and acting like a foot. And it's a hilarious joke. And I think it's incredible. But it's lowered the barrier of being able to communicate with somebody and create an experience over video, and made it easier for people to, to not feel like they're at a disadvantage because of their technology too. Because there's a huge gap between me and my Sony AQ6400 and my webcam 2.0 that's in my laptop.
Yeah, but you can take videos on your cell phone. It doesn't have to be high tech.
Exactly.
People want to look you in the eye, and they want you to create that connection that says, I'm talking to you.
Mm-hmm. And video is definitely the way to do it.
I'll tell you something else. If you're still out there running right now at your business, you have something over all the people that just fell flat. Because there are a lot of people who quit running in the last 30 days.
What do you mean?
Don't give up. There are a lot of companies.
Oh, you mean like just quit going?
They let everybody go. They're closed, or they have one person left trying to run something because they weren't hiring responsibly, or whatever the case was. There's probably a million different cases of what happened.
So in that case, that means they definitely didn't have a continuity plan in place whatsoever. If you guys are gone, obviously you couldn't continue.
Well, how do you have the millions of unemployed if there wasn't a problem with having your 6 months operating cash in the bank? Obviously,
well, and that's the funny thing, is that now we're getting into talks about, what do you mean? But these businesses have all of this money. How could they not afford to pay their employees after a month? And then I was explaining, and I've gotten to some cool conversations about like balance sheets lately and financial reporting in general. And it's like, you can ask me, there's a difference between what is taxable income, and which is like your quote unquote real income, and then your actual income of money that you get, and they're not the same. In that, you can have an uncollected debt that is still counted as an asset because you will be collecting it. Like there's a lot of it's not fraud. It's completely accurate. It's not anything other than non-transparent and doesn't show the full picture. So that everybody gets this false sense of security when in reality, nothing is actually secure. So I'm not going to get on my soapbox on that. I'll start to rant out.
Oh, come on. Why not?
It's so frustrating to me, man. Like, I hate it. It's so dumb that there are literally 3 million people unemployed right now. Something like that. Last time I checked, just in like the US, right?
I think it's more.
Million already. And how many big businesses have gone out of business or aren't paying their rent or aren't, giving out any money? Like our entire economy, our entire society isn't set up to help anybody. It's set up to make everybody compete. And when we're all competing, like we're all too busy peacocking to try to work out an actual problem and try to fix anything. So we're not prepared for anything that would happen. Like I just hate seeing things, especially as an entrepreneur. And the small business community is one of the most beautiful communities I've ever been a part of because we're all supporting each other. How many times have you heard that? Yeah, I love to buy local. I love to support small. It's because you're at an inherent disadvantage. It's like we're running the same race, except I have to run it covered in tar and you get like a shower beforehand, And then you want to say that we're running the same race and that we're completely equal. And it's like, no, we're not. I had to run with hot tar, like literally burning through my flesh. And they're like, well, you still have to run to the same starting point as everybody else. Yeah, screw off, bro. Like you guys there's no transparency. There's no, okay, so this makes sense. This is why you couldn't possibly actually do anything. And it's just it's just frustrating because the world could be so much better if we all just work together a little bit better. Like if we all focus on that collaboration, the cohesion, building something better, building this great and wonderful thing, instead of building something selfish and good for me and protects my assets. Like that's bullshit, bro. None of us matter. Like your assets don't matter. Nothing does. You are literally, we're all space dust. Congratulations. What do you want? Like what more do you want? You know what I mean? Like how can your goal, you're going to be space dust. Like how can your goal not be, let's make us a little bit less of space dust? Just a little bit.
And if anybody had a question about that, it was answered in the last 45 days.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. It's like, come on. Like, let's just care about our people. Can't tell me that they're freaking 3 million people unemployed and big businesses are getting PPP loans. Hedge funds are getting PPP loans. Service-based, fee-based organizations are getting PPP loans. Congratulations. I've got clients that are literally shutting down because their margins were incredibly thin and they were in underdeveloped areas. So, well done. Awesome. Good job.
And I'm watching small business owners fight with every penny they have to keep their employees. Turning themselves upside down because they're family.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because they know them.
We are going to stop the show and say hello here in just a second.
Oh, we've got some awesome comments,
all
bro.
cool down for just a second with this wonderful clip of a koala munching on a leaf.
I'm at peace with the world.
Let's stop the show
and say hello.
Can
we start like way up at the top, basically?
You start wherever you want, man.
All right, man. We're gonna take it way back to when Kevin and Matthew were still going together. I asked in the chat how many of you guys had/have a business continuity plan. So just going through that first, because we got a couple of cool responses there. Matthew, his continuity plan is to continue not sucking and keep bringing people the tools and knowledge they need to get to where they want to go. That never goes out of style. You're right, bro. And you're bringing it into style. So hell yeah for Matthew. Rock on with that, man. Enrique shared an uplifting story. I just saw a couple get together and start a relationship from a balcony and a roof. We can't. Okay. Which one was on the balcony and which one was on the roof? But that's awesome. So very, very cool. True love. Kevin's continuity plan, keep delivering creative results to my clients and grow through referrals, which has been how I've gotten most of my work. You guys both are incredible, but those are not continuity plans as much as those are foundational plans.
I wasn't going to break it to him.
No, y'all are doing great. Like, keep on doing what you're doing for real. You both are killing it. Peacocking, that's a great word, Kevin says. We're through the continuity plans. This is when I was going on my rant. A lot of the 80% of the LinkedIn fit that description perfectly. They do. Everybody's peacocking on the internet. Are you kidding me? Why do you think I sit in my freaking room with my nice expensive chair and my IoT lights? Like, we all do the same damn thing. We look for a nice pretty spot to make us look pretty.
That's right.
Brad Austin says, and by the way, stop show, say hello to Brad Austin. What's up, man? He said, hey, Rowley, what's up, bro? Hope you've been doing well.
Doing great, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, Thunderful, I don't know if we got anything going over on Facebook or not because I can't get the feed to come up. But
that's a good question. Koala love. They did love the koala. I love the koala as well.
Oh, good. Yeah, I do. You got to drag that one out every once in a while. Yeah, just to bring a chill to the vibe. A kinder,
I have a unicorn.
Gentler. Oh, we have a unicorn. All right.
I don't have anything.
I don't. Yeah, no unicorns here.
I'm calculating.
Oh, we have lots of ducks.
Oh yes, the ducket bucket. Okay, so you guys know how, and Elizabeth, I'll explain it to you in a second. The hours thing we were talking about yesterday, Lee. How you have like 24 hours in a day, like $24 basically that you have to spend.
Yeah.
What about we have a chuck it in the ducket bucket?
Okay.
So what I was thinking is basically you have 24 ducks in one ducket bucket throughout the day. You're going to throw 24 ducks in the ducket bucket. It's about what is worth your ducks. So ducket bucks.
That's right. What is worth your ducks? What you give a duck about.
Choose what you give a duck about with ducket bucks.
Wow.
A way to schedule your day. The BowtieUP.
You saw it here on BowtieUP Live. Our next
live on multiple platforms.
Futile attempt.
I need a ducket bucket.
Yes, our first sale. Woo!
Yes.
Validated.
We will ship the ducket bucket to you as soon as possible, complete with ducks for the ducket bucket.
24 of them. And then we have a 48 version that has 30-minute markers so that you can schedule smaller meetings.
Now, your ducket bucket may or may not come with markings resembling those of a certain home improvement store. So your mileage may vary on that one.
Sometimes they get switched out in transit.
Home Despot.
As long as the ducks get there. Instructions say throw this in a bucket along the way.
That's right. There's the ducket. We got lots of we got brown ducks with we've got
I bet I have a duck here somewhere. I actually have a duck in my room. One singular duck.
What, just one?
Well, it's my office. It's literally just one duck.
Damn it. We have a unicorn duck.
Oh, the duck.
That is the.
We need to get bow ties for the ducks. We should get custom bow tie ducks.
Speaking of that,
the duck.
Watch your mail. Hopefully by tomorrow. Yes, I sent the bow tie. Hopefully it'll be there by tomorrow. I don't know what time your mail comes. If it's not, we'll do it. We'll do it next week if that's the case. But the idea was, and this is a Hannah thing. She's like, well, why don't you have Alex interview you sometime? And I was like,
that'd be fun.
Shit, I don't like being on the other end of this. I just like winding people up and letting them go and like just seeing what happens. And then she's like, no, we need to like hear from you. And I was like, well, crap. Okay, maybe we can integrate that tie shtick. So what I'm doing is I mailed him my practice tie, the first ever bow tie I bought. And live on the show, I'm going to teach him how to tie a bow tie. None of this clip-on bullshit.
None of it.
Yeah, no, we're doing it for real. And he's probably going to learn it in like 3 tries and show me up where it took me 16 YouTube videos and like a month and a half to figure it out. And it's
that's
still
why people learn it quick though. Because you spent so long screwing up learning it that you're gonna have such a streamlined way to teach me. You've done all the process discovery for me, man.
That's right.
Now we're working towards a standard operating procedure.
I feel
back to business. We can do this all day.
All right. So anyway, that's what that's all about. And so hopefully we can do that on Friday's show. If not that, then next week. So
one of these days. I said one of these days we will, however, we've already had a couple of people wanting to buy our wait, I don't even know. Probably the Ducket Ducks and the Ducket Bucket with duck bucks.
Oh, what if we could get customized Ducket buckets with the Phoenix logo?
Oh, we can. I already know. Dude, I've got some really cool printing connections. We're gonna have some sick swag.
We could get printed 5-gallon buckets.
Favorite. You can get anything printed, literally anything that your heart desires. Like I have asked for some ridiculous stuff to be printed, and there is not a no. I've never asked for a chicken, but if you're clever enough, like Elizabeth is down here with that bow tie that she just made,
you
just might be able to. Also, by the way, Cassandra Govin, welcome to Bowtie Live. She's saying hello to Elizabeth.
It's great to see you.
Awesome to see. Well, I can't really see you, but I imagine that you're wonderful. So welcome. Hope you're having a great show.
Wonderful.
Great day.
Absolutely.
Brad asked what was going on. That's a great idea. Great question. I don't know. We never really do, though, so it's okay.
Oh, who's wanting to know?
Brad Austin, our new friend.
Oh, you're new here. Yeah, no, we really don't know. This is a free-flowing discussion. We got into what LinkedIn wants. And so far we've talked about, the strategies that we're using to build our audiences on LinkedIn. A little earlier, we talked about LinkedIn top voices. Elizabeth shared some information about.
Oh, we didn't go through the categories on those.
We didn't. You're right.
No,
let's circle back to that.
Okay. Right now? Can we keep going? Because I probably missed some other things.
Oh, okay.
I'll just write them down.
All right. Well, okay.
Hey, I don't know the order of these things. You got to keep going, man. What did we talk about after top voices?
Business continuity.
That's right. Okay.
Boom. Okay. So, and then what about after that, Elizabeth?
Then y'all kind of start talking about ducks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's what
Ducket Bucket came up. Okay. Another one for the Ducket Bucket.
Happens every
Good
time.
old Ducket Bucket.
All right.
7 categories. Here we go. Top voices. Tell us what we need to know.
Technology.
Okay.
Money and finance. Venture capital and entrepreneurship. Media. Education. healthcare, marketing and social, management and culture, and if you're one of those people that get those big, big, big numbers, influencers.
Okay.
Which one was, because that is way faster than I could write down. And you guys don't want to hear me murdering my keyboard, apparently. So
No.
technology, money and finance, entrepreneurs and venture capitalists, media, education, healthcare, management.
There was marketing and social.
Marketing and social. Okay. I think
The management was management and culture.
yes, marketing, social, management, culture.
And then there's influencers.
All right. Awesome. So that's
there will probably be in the healthcare area because she helps people get healthy and work out and stuff.
How many top voices are there?
I do not know the answer to that question. There are several in each category each year.
Are they regular to see? Does anybody out in the audience know, by the way, how many people get top voices every year? See how exclusive of a crew it is? So we can give some super shout outs. That we can have top streamers of the year, top LinkedIn streamers. Who are your favorite other LinkedIn streamers, guys? Like, tell us who we should stream with. We should get some other streamers in here because you're going to learn more, and I'm going to keep dropping hints on it every show, but we're about to be able to do some cool things with streams.
Yeah.
It's real cool things coming down the line with streams.
I don't understand any of it.
We learned how it works, and so it's not good. Well, it's actually great. You know.
I want to say a couple more things to folks that are trying to survive or grow during this time.
Do you want to talk about starting during this time too? Because that's another big one, is that a lot of like early entrepreneurs specifically are having a lot of difficulty and have a lot of questions right now.
Yeah, we can field some questions on that. I wanted to talk specifically to LinkedIn, that LinkedIn has over 100 million users daily. That's more than the Super Bowl. So every time you post on LinkedIn every single day, you have a chance of that level of reach. Mm-hmm. So don't miss LinkedIn as part of your strategy for your business right now.
I completely agree. However, I do want to ask, because I'm in tech, so my line is there are 1 billion searches on Google per second. Don't miss out on that audience.
Right.
So how do you counter that, or what's the response to that?
I don't know that I have one. It's just a matter of what you're selling. I just don't know that, for example, what I do is something people are necessarily going to Google search.
What do you do?
That's a good point.
Because I can show you trends analysis.
No, I believe you. It's just not anything I've really ever thought about.
No.
Fair enough. And this is all I think about is technology. So when it comes to getting found online and the internet, we've had a lot of really fruitful SEO conversations on here. Like when it gets to tech, bro, we'll get techie with the best of them. And that's a challenge, guys. Like send me the best tech guys that you can find, and we'll have some really cool conversations. Because I love it, and especially talking about getting into web hosting and an actual domain itself, how the servers work on the back end, how the internet works and gets distributed. Back to LinkedIn. I get this. I digress.
Let me ask it this way: 40 million decision makers on this platform. When people are Googling a business solution, are they typically a decision maker?
It's not about if they're a decision maker. It's about if they have a decision intent.
Okay, fair enough.
Keyword intent. So you're not going to know who that person is because you literally is not allowed. You cannot legally obtain somebody's personal information off of a search on the internet. Just a little bit of internet laws for you guys.
Sure.
Don't get into cybercrime because some people will. But sorry. So decision makers. No, it's not about the decision makers. Right. It's about the decision being made. If you're searching G Suite for business price, why are you searching price? Price, intent, buy. Buy showed Google Shopping. Why? And I view a website kind of as it's like a home base is how I think about it. All of the other castles, so to speak, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, Pinterest, whatever it might be, that's it. It's not inside your castle, but it can have a road back to it. So they're still nice little villages, and they still have their own ecosystem. but they're still their own ecosystem that's
Right.
cut out from the rest of the world. So it definitely it's about search and what you want people to be searching for your business, and how it's structured specifically on what's going to be your best strategy.
Fair
How
enough.
quickly you want it to work. Because
Some
search, I can't get you immediate traffic unless you're targeting ads, and that's more money.
Some people are saying websites are dead. But if you look at the statistics that you just
Are they saying it from a website?
yeah, it's still
they are.
it's still a thing to do because that drives traffic. That's a lot of traffic.
Right.
And to that note on websites for dead, I always think that's hilarious if you're posting on Facebook, because Facebook is what we call a website. And no, websites are not dead because the internet's not dead.
Right.
But
Absolutely. But still, that leaves us with a vast audience on LinkedIn and people who at least have some business intent by virtue of just being there. And so, one thing about that is that out of those people, about 2%, again, are actually generating content on a weekly basis.
Right.
Is it 1% now? I'm sorry. Okay. Well, very small. How's that? Dang it. All right. So, yeah, sub 2%, 1%, whatever, but small amounts generating content on a weekly basis, which means that you've got a vast audience of people that you don't even really realize are there.
What's the decision maker percentage on LinkedIn for how many people are? I know they have those statistics out there. Don't
How are you defining a decision maker?
To your question, Elizabeth, on like how many decision makers, or was it just 40 million decision makers in general?
There's 660 million members on LinkedIn, and 40 million of those are decision makers. You can do the math.
Oh, I love that.
I'm not
trying to see the distribution between content creators, decision makers to total population.
Right.
So we can examine like what part of the population of LinkedIn you're even making up by being a content creator or a decision maker. And then we can just have some fun with the numbers and statistics, and all of you guys are going to feel really special.
Now they do say so as far as the entrepreneurs and stuff out there, 94% of the B2B organizations are using LinkedIn for their business. That's a pretty big percentage.
Wow.
Yeah, using it for their business, but in what capacity? Mm-hmm. I think it would be interesting to know how much they're using it for the primary marketing purpose for their company, or what they see on typical ROI. Because if you're talking about LinkedIn as a strategy, and especially for all those early entrepreneurs, this is why I bring it up, because I've been through the bootstrap pain. You have to like select what you're doing so carefully. Every dollar, every dime counts. So when you're making the decision of, okay, how do I grow? Well, I can grow organically. I can grow through paid traffic. I want to grow organically, and I want to go through LinkedIn. How do I know that what we're doing on LinkedIn is even going to be the best strategy for me as an early entrepreneur who needs to watch all of my dollars and all of my time? So what would you say to that, Elizabeth, as to why you chose LinkedIn as the platform to really use for primary business growth as opposed to any other platform out there?
I could develop real connections. So by posting content, I was getting people commenting on my content. We were able to generate enough interest from those comments to go into a direct message solution, which is still on LinkedIn. And those led to Zoom calls, which inevitably lead to, so how much are you going to charge to help me with this anyway, right? So I just think there's a kind of a relationship funnel that you go through there that's a little different than what I expected from some of the other platforms. Now, I'm learning quite a bit recently about YouTube, and I am understanding that the relationships are there as well, which I did not understand previously.
Yeah, YouTube, any sense of community is huge, and YouTube and a lot of those video journeys, I think that's where we can really see it, and it shows how strong video is. YouTube's the #2 search engine.
Yeah.
If people aren't searching on Google, they're going to be searching on YouTube because they want to get video content. Why is that? It's obviously because of the connection. It's because of what you can experience. Searching something without having to watch a video is much quicker, which is why it's so easily adoptable. But video is much more in-depth and much more personal that you can connect.
Yeah, I just never thought of the community building there. And I thought of LinkedIn as a community because of their, I don't know, Lee and I were talking about this earlier, kind of their 7 degrees of separation concept. What do you call it?
7 degrees of the Kevin Bacon theory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, LinkedIn kind of works off your 1st degree connection, your 2nd degree connection, your 3rd degree connection, and so forth. And it's a matter of what does it take to get to a billionaire on LinkedIn, to Gary Vaynerchuk or whoever. That's kind of something I just never really thought about YouTube being able to do that in the same way. And that's just kind of a new door that's been opening for me lately.
YouTube is really interesting to look at some of the more established YouTubers out there and how the people interact with their stuff too, and then go and look at, if you want to look at a YouTuber and see their community, you don't look at like their LinkedIn profile, for example. You would want to go find them on Twitter or Instagram, maybe even Facebook, which they'll have tagged on their YouTube account, and really see how what they're doing and the content that they're creating is promoting their overall brand on YouTube and the loyalty that these customers feel, because they're literally creating an entire brand just off of being a YouTuber. Yep. So like that community is inherent with that. Like I feel like a YouTuber's community is almost stronger than a website's community, just because that's what you do. Like that is what you do. You watch videos. My kids especially is what I'm talking about. But yeah, so it's awesome. And it's a great strategy. It's something important to learn. And really when it comes down to it, you can use anything to grow your business. You can use anything as a strategy and be successful with it. It's just about where you're putting that time, effort, and energy into. And if you put your time, effort, and energy in LinkedIn, you're going to get exactly what you're looking for. All you guys, and there's some awesome comments coming through, and I'll go through a couple of them because a couple of them were questions that we answered. But when you really go through, I can't remember what I was talking about. Just completely blanked out. Lee, you're muted, man.
Talking about YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube. Saying it for the website, cohesion, competition between brands, competition on Google versus collaboration on LinkedIn. That's very true. And getting what you're seeking, I think, is what I was talking about. So if you're seeking out those personal connections that you guys have been noticing, you're going to get them off of LinkedIn. And you're 100% right that you're not going to get that on your website. But I would say that that's because most people aren't using their website appropriately to communicate voice and the brand. But that's besides the point.
But not everybody knows how to use a website.
Exactly. That is the whole point. It's kind of like a really nice car, or really cars in general. Not everybody knows how to drive a car. If you know how to drive automatic, congratulations, you can turn a wheel. But you don't drive a car, for real. Like it's the same thing with websites. It's the same thing with the internet. Like it's a huge thing in tech companies. Like there's a huge difference between the people who understand and the people who are just like, oh, okay, I know I need this. I know I need a website. Versus I know my website's communicating my voice and strengthening my brand. Yeah? Nay? What are your thoughts, guys?
We're just letting you sweat it out for a second.
Okay. I'll go back to comments.
All right. We'll give it a Yosemite Sam. Fine.
Ow! My biscuits are burning! Fire in the hatch!
There you go.
And
I dug it. Hello?
Yeah, Brad Austin says if you dig tech talking to me, we should connect. Sure, man. Shoot me a connection request. That'd be awesome. Love to talk about it. Cassandra asks, of the 94%, are they posting content daily? I don't know about daily, and Elizabeth, you'd be the one with the statistics here. But if it was 40 million, they have 1 million active members a day. There are 40 million content creators a week, right? Creating content a week. Was it?
There are 40 decision makers. There are 40% of the people on the platform are active daily. There's 660 million members. 40% of those are active on the platform daily.
Okay, so 40% of platform are active. So that's 264 million active. Hold on, daily active?
There's over 100 million users that log in, unique users every day.
Okay, 100 million unique for that day.
Daily.
Okay. So that's a sixth of their users are logging in every day. All right, cool. Well, anyways, we're learning cool numbers about LinkedIn.
I don't know the answer to Cass's question. I don't know how many are posting, how often they're posting.
Okay. That's fair.
And yeah, definitely 1% of members are posters. So that means it's like 6.6 thousand? No. 6.6 million members are posting. Jeff asked something in here. Also, there is a cohesion between brands on LinkedIn? No, he was asking about Google websites when we were talking about the Google stuff. And I thought it was a really good question. So sorry, Jeff, if I'm missing it, just drop it in the chat again. Oh, talk about Google websites on a Google domain tied to Google My Business. Elizabeth, is this something that you understand as well? The whole relationship between Google domains, Google My Business, Google My Site?
Not so much. I've helped people optimize the keywords on their site for Google searches, and that's about the extent for me.
Right, SEO? Awesome. So this actually plays into SEO too. So Jeff, when you talk about Google websites on Google domain tied to Google My Business, you're talking about a couple of different entities. Google Domains itself is a branch of Google, but it's not like actual, like it's just a Google service. It's a Google app. So you buy it on Google Domains, and then Google websites, you're talking Google My Site. You can do Google Sites at sites.google.com. They just updated it. You can actually, I know what you're talking about. Okay. So if you buy a domain on Google Domains for $12 as a .com. You spent $12 this year, right? And then you use that domain to get a G Suite subscription so that you have a business email. So you've got a business email and you've got a domain. When you have a domain that you buy on Google Domains and you have a G Suite subscription for it, you can use My Sites, Google Sites, and build your website. So you can have a completely free, 100% secure website with an SSL built on Google Sites just by buying a domain and a basic email subscription. That's what we were talking about, because Jeff and I were talking about one day about what I could do like as a Google partner, because A3 Innovation, we're a Google Cloud partner for G Suite, G Voice, and Google for Education. So that's kind of the stuff I do. It's a really good question. Tied to Google My Business. Google My Business ties into and points to your website. You can build on Google My Business your website. Technically, it's the same builder, the new sites builder, but I recommend you use your domain site because it'll be branded with your company logo, which is set up in G Suite. There's small particularities between the two. I'm not going to waste everybody's time going into detail, although I could and I want to. Google My Business, by the way, you can do keywords in case you guys were wondering, setting what type of service you are. So I work with a chiropractor who does chiropractor and acupuncture. So she offers a service for chiropractic and for acupuncture, which allows her to rank on 2 keywords when people are searching chiropractor near me, acupuncture near me on the map, as opposed to 1. So helpful tip for you guys out there. And I'm still trying to read through the comments here, guys, and catch up. So rock on. If you have a Google My Business site, the website is tied to it. Not automatically unless you created it on the Google My Business sites. So if you're talking about the stuff from the course, that's because we're coming from 2 different angles. Google My Business itself has a site builder. That is Google Sites. G Suite has a site builder. That is Google Sites. G Suite Sites comes with G Suite. Google My Business is the one you get with Google My Business. So like the purpose of Google My Business is to verify your business. It is not in any way related to the domain. What you're talking about, Jeff, is available on the GMB console. Right, exactly. That's what I mean for Google My Business. That's not new Google Sites. There's a difference. There's sites.google.com, and then there's the sites builder within Google My Business. I can explain more in the benefits and the differences. I'm happy to go into that. It would probably be good for us to like have a 15-minute segment on one of the shows where I go over some of this stuff, because it's really useful for newer entrepreneurs to know how to not get screwed by GoDaddy into paying them $300 a year for one domain.
That's a good idea.
So, yeah, because Lee, I saved you, I don't even know how many thousands with the switch over from GoDaddy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
To Google Domains.
Yeah.
It was like 2.5 or something. So, yeah, we'll go over it, guys.
You know, like once a week or something, we'll do, give you 15 minutes to do some stuff like that. Or twice, I don't care.
We'll do a Q&A, a tech Q&A, because I know all of you guys have tech questions. Like, I have tech questions too. That's why I'm in tech. I just like finding the answers to the questions. So throw your questions in there. And
do a workshop. He'll host it. Matthew says he'll host a workshop.
Actually, I can host a workshop too, dog, but we'll co-host it. How about that? I know you're talking about Remo. I would love to do it on Remo. But
Yeah.
For Google Meet.
And, yeah, I've got some ideas for that too. So we're just going to have to dogpile Matthew and, yeah, it'll be all right.
It's an interesting thing.
All
Guys
right.
are going wild in the comments. Sorry. Like, y'all are awesome, by the way. Anyways, yeah, it would take more than 15 minutes. You're right, Jeff.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
shut
sure.
up. I get it. You can say that. I won't take it offensively.
What?
So
Ha!
he was saying it'd take more than 15 minutes. Yeah.
Well, that is true. And we are actually in overtime already.
8 minutes every time.
Yeah, and I got to split here pretty quickly. So I hate to do this to you guys. But let's do final thoughts and skedaddle. I'm sure Miss Elizabeth here would love to get on about her evening too.
So what we're gonna do now is one of my favorite things that we do at the end. We're gonna do final thoughts. You get 30 seconds, a minute and 45 seconds, or however long you want. And you get center stage, where you get to leave the audience with a lasting impression. Well, I fail at doing an Australian accent. Elizabeth, as our honored guest, you will be on the center stage first, and you shall begin with your final thoughts for the evening.
I shall say I just love all you lovely people, and I've enjoyed seeing you today. Thank you for participating.
Yes, we must carry on the accent as we go along. I don't know if we can keep this up, so Lee, I'm going to go real quick before everything loses my mind. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you don't mind the accent here. But on a serious note, please have a wonderful rest of the day. Try to take life not so seriously. Do an accent. Maybe try to do a silly dance. Perhaps to a song that you've known before. And, as always, be a better person today than you were yesterday. Hug someone, do some good, hold a door open, but don't catch corona while you're doing it. This is Alex, signing off. Keep up the accent, Lee.
What a smashing good show it is. It's not an Australian accent. Look at your British accent. It's a little more... No. We won't say that. It's been a lovely show. It's been quite smashing. Elizabeth, it's been so wonderful having you on the show to talk today about LinkedIn and how to grow our reach and how to connect with people and how you did this marvelous thing you've done in the last 6 months. It's absolutely... I'm just ruining the accent now. It's just going all over the place. It's like, I'm French. Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly English pig dog? Now we've got into my Naughty Python territory, so I think it's probably just time for me to just give up. Thank you so much for for being here for another great show. We've learned so much, as we always do. We never really know what we're going to get into, but these things always turn out with us going, we're glad we came together. It's just, we're making the internet a better place.
Slowly but surely.
Okay, up.
And I'm embarrassed that I blew that accent.
You can recover it. It's okay.
So Winston Cragglebottom the third.
I bid you farewell.
Would recover.
And farewell I do bid you.